Can you believe that this tweet was sold for $3 million? This GIF, which you might have seen on Instagram, was sold for $500,000. This JPEG image, which can be freely downloaded on the internet, was sold for around $60 million. These digital assets were bought and sold as NFTs. So what the hell is an NFT? Hey guys, welcome to the channel. My name is Jay and today we learn what is an NFT and what is all of this hype about. NFT is a short form of non-fungible token. Let's break this down. What is non-fungible? Well, fungible is something that can be easily replaced. Non-fungible is something which cannot be easily replaced. For example, this pen, it's fungible. It can be easily replaced. This packet of salt, this loaf of bread, etc. This book, all of these articles are easily replaceable and hence they are fungible. But what do you think about the Taj Mahal? What do you think about the painting of Mona Lisa, which is by Leonardo da Vinci? These articles are non-fungible. They are unique, they are one of its kind and it cannot be replaced with any other article. So what's a token? Before we understand token, we need to understand another technical jargon for which we need to take a quick crash course in, and it's called the blockchain. What is blockchain? Blockchain is a digital ledger that has no formal governing entity, but it has distributed ownership amongst people. Well, I'm so sorry to throw this brick of jargon at you to explain blockchain. Let's simplify this a bit. The current banking system is nothing but ledgers that record financial transactions. For example, if I go to a shop named Oikita to buy parathas, and if I am swiping 1,000 rupees from my HDFC credit card towards Oiketa's account, and let's say Oiketa's account is in ICICI Bank, it's not that someone's manually going from HDFC Bank, withdrawing 1,000 rupees and going and depositing in Oiketa's ICICI account. A ledger entry is made that deducts 1,000 rupees from my account and adds 1,000 rupees to Oiketa's account. Now this entire transaction is governed by the central banking system that checks whether my account has a sufficient balance to make this transaction, and if it has sufficient balance, then the transaction goes through and the necessary ledger entries are made in the system. Now let's say we remove the central banking system and replace it with a distributed system. Now this distributed system has the data of which account holds how much balance, but in a encrypted and a secure way. Now, let's say whenever I want to make a transaction from my account to Oiketa's account, let's say I want to transfer 1,000 crypto coins, the distributed system checks if I have that sufficient balance in my account. If I do not have that account balance with me, then the transaction gets rejected. But if I have the account balance, the distributed network validates this transaction and my transaction goes through. After this transaction goes through, all the ledgers in the distributed system update their version to record this particular transaction. The data of the transaction as to who is the sender, who is the receiver, and what's the amount is what resides inside what we call a block. Now, whenever a block is verified by the distributed network, it gets added to the chain of blocks or transactions that have been verified before it. This is what we call a blockchain. Now, this transaction is secure, it can almost never be altered, and the entire distributed network can validate that this transaction happened because it's there in their version of their ledger. This is essentially what a blockchain is. One quick disclaimer, this is a gross oversimplification of the process, but essentially and fundamentally, this is what is at play. Okay, so let's come back. How is all of this linked to an NFT and a token? To understand this better, let's take an example of art and artwork. Art has always been around as a collectible. Now, art enthusiasts and collectors are always willing to pay a premium for an original piece of art. Now, this painting, the Mona Lisa, is nothing but a few colors on a piece of canvas. But still, its value is more than $850 million. A poster of the Mona Lisa, in comparison with the original artwork, has absolutely no value. The value of this painting is because it is the original artwork done by Leonardo da Vinci and there is only one unique piece in this world. So basically the actual value of any artwork is driven by two fundamental principles. One is uniqueness and the second one is proof of ownership or lineage of ownership right from the original creator. Let's say Leonardo da Vinci was alive in 2021, let's call him Digital Leo, and he prepared this JPEG image called Mona and put it on the internet. And as we all know, things on the internet get copy pasted left, right, center. Now, Digital Leo goes to a potential buyer with his JPEG image. The first question that the buyer will ask is, one, how do I know that this is the original artwork? Second, how do I know that you are the rightful owner of this original artwork? Guess what? Digital Leo has no answer. This is the crux of the problem with digital art. The solution now comes with tokenization. So what's a token? Okay, in its simplest sense, tokenization is the process of conversion of physical or virtual assets into digital units that can be bought or sold. So basically, if Digital Leo creates a token for his JPEG image Mona, he basically gets a digital certificate that proves that he is the original creator of this digital artwork. Basically, he gets a unique private key that helps him do this. So what will we call a token that is unique, one of its kind, and it's not replaceable? Non-fungible token. Okay, so but what does Digital Leo do with this token which proves that he is the original creator? The value of any artwork or any token gets realized only if someone purchases that. That's where our old friend Mr. Blockchain jumps in. Now, NFTs are digital tokens that are being exchanged on the internet on this blockchain called Ethereum. Let's say I'm a digital art collector and I really like Leo's work and I want to send him 100 ETH coins for his NFT. So I raise this transaction on the Ethereum blockchain. What happens is that the entire network validates whether I have the sufficient balance. If I have the sufficient balance, the transaction goes through, and in return, the digital token or the NFT gets transferred in my digital wallet. And 100 Ethereum coins get transferred from my wallet to Digital Leo's wallet. Now guess what? The entire network can validate that I am the rightful owner of this token. And the token itself proves that my copy of the digital file of Mona is the original one. Now, if I want to sell my token or NFT which I now own to someone else, the blockchain will record this chain of transaction and will also record the passage of ownership from Digital Leo to me now to someone else. So basically, NFT on the blockchain can prove two essential aspects. One is uniqueness. The token or the digital certificate does that. And the second one is ownership, which the blockchain network does. NFTs are used today on the internet to buy and sell digital art, GIFs, video game skins and avatars, videos and sports highlights, collectibles, and music. So is NFT a hype? Is it going to stick around or is it going to die? Or is it something that is fundamentally going to change the way we purchase things? Well, the internet is divided on this matter and only time will tell. Another question which people get usually is, should I invest in an NFT? Well, I fundamentally believe that we should understand the things we invest in. I personally have very limited knowledge in this particular space. My attempt with this video is to take the first step in scratching the surface of this amazing new technology called as blockchain. I had a ball of a time in making this video and learning about this. For the same reason, I want to delve in deeper, and I'll be making one video every month in this new series of episodes called Blockchain Diaries. Consider subscribing to my channel if you're interested about this topic. Here is a link to my Money Matters series where we talk about personal finance and interesting ways to think about money. Hopefully you learned something new today and had fun in the process. I will see you soon in the next video. Till then, keep learning, keep smiling, and thank you so much for watching.